Welcome to Keeper of Secrets Tarot. I'm Gypsy Girl, here to give you another monthly reading for September 2023. This is a reading for Taurus. I thank you, Spirit, for protecting and keeping the collective safe, for keeping me safe and protecting me. What are the important messages for Taurus? The month of September. What does Taurus need to know? Oh, we have commitment that comes in to end the cycle. We have a relationship going to a higher level. We have a choice in relationship. Healing. So healing that choice, healing and choosing, healing that self, knowing what you want, destiny coming in, taking your time, making it go slowly so you are clear on what it is that you want to make that commitment, ending the cycle. It's a slow process for Taurus. But that's good because you're making up your mind and you're knowing what you want and you're sticking with it. It's not fly by night. What are the messages for Taurus? Thank you, Spirit. What does Taurus need to know? See, the deck cracked open here. So we have that strategic move, changing your life, making that choice to go into a higher level of commitment. You're manifesting that. That's where the strategy comes in. But then this is, in this deck, this is not just strategy. This is strategy for betrayal. So you better look to the type of relationship. And the fact that you're taking your time is to counteract any possibility of betrayal of the self, first of all. Again, the cracking open. It's going to bring down the Tower. It's a lot of strength involved. So it could be dealing with a very huge ego. That's probably where that strategy is coming in, on how to curb that sensation of indulgence, you know, where your ego takes over and you're overpowering your relationships. Now you're seeing that. I mean, it's not for everybody, you know. For some, you see, there's a sense of I've had enough of this. And the ego, healing. So it is building up to let's see what comes here. Oh, there it is, standing in your truth, or the ego in itself is being healed for some. Because that is what would make you want to slow down and pay attention to the relationship that you're getting into and with whom you're getting into this relationship with. Their behavior, their ego calls into questioning the longevity of the relationship. And if you really want to take it to that higher level, you're at the point of choosing. Again, the healing. It keeps cracking open on the healing. Healing conversation, being very creative with your conversation, being determined to speak and heal. There's a lot of messages coming through. Just take it as it resonates. The layout is still the same as it has been. So we're not changing that, not just yet. I really like it. So the first line is all about you, Taurus, and if you are not Taurus, the cross watcher, then you place yourself in the first line or you place yourself in the second line if you are the significant other. And if there is no significant other, then this is people you cross, people you work with, people your family, your neighbors, the grocery store clerks, cashiers and waitresses and such. Third line is the outcome of this reading. Just taking a peep. Raise everything up. So the bottom of the deck, again, is that voice, that determination to speak, that creativity, that desire to move on. And that determination is definitely showing with the healing and making a change in your life. Oh, there's commitment coming. Taurus, you're moving slowly, but you're doing lots, leaps and bounds. There's a stalemate here for commitment, for an offer. Not just a commitment, but an offer. That offer is being held because it's being examined. Spirit is making us sit when it is time to make these big decisions in life, you know. You want to be in a relationship, but there's an ending. That relationship changes, heals and changes. There's a healing. This king is healing because of work done in the past. He's patiently healing. He's taking his time because he knows what he wants, and he knows he needs to change in order to have that fulfillment, that happiness, that beginning, or that marriage that I want to be in a relationship. That is the changing point. The turning point will bring in this, I want to be in a marriage. I've made up my mind. And that will end the cycle, and then there will be a time where perspective will be taken into consideration about the generosity of what it took to make the change, and what it will take to make a change and take a direction, change direction, and heal passionately. That healing is determined. There's a lot of passion behind that wanting to heal, you know. Lots of change, lots of creativity, newness. It's a new beginning. That's good. It's very potent. But then that's earth. So we see here we're starting off with that burden. It's a big, big burden. You're just at the end of it. Your destiny says that you will put it down, because destiny is coming here. The wheel of fortune is turning, and it is after the accumulation of a lot of work that you've done, and it is that it was needed, because this is what will end the cycle. And this disappointment here, we need to look into that, because at the end of the cycle there is a disappointment, but there is always a winner and a loser when it comes to making a judgment call and bringing in those just desserts. I mean, you do what you do when you get what you deserve. And if it is that the just desserts bring in a disappointment where you're not satisfied with what you get, well, it is because you've earned it. It's not because Spirit is just giving you a short change. It's what you've done. And that disappointment is relating to the burden that needs to be put down. But we will take a look at that. I just want to see the disappointment brings in new plans. Because of the disappointment, things change again, which is destined in itself to bring in that loss. So there's a sense of mourning that's happening here. That disappointment is so deep that it is cutting deep. Very, very emotional for this queen who has to go off on her own. But there is abundance. Let me see what this 5 has to do. See, we're coming up to the 5 and the 10s. It's very difficult. It's not going to be easy to come through. We have a victory here for this queen. Putting down the burden is the victory in itself. And then we have this is outside of you. So there is There is a victory that looks like an ego trip. But then there's that strength, that holding back, that wanting because of the healing. And the ego, this ego is healing. This needs to be healed. Destiny is bringing in that independence, going off on your own, that determination. It's High Arcana, this is outside of us. They run these cards show up here for the healing. We have the 10, 8, 3, coming with the 9. It's all in synchronicity. That disappointment for healing, independence, going off on your own, being able to stand on your own and be creative. Takes that. It takes a lot of disappointment. It takes a lot of hurt for you to be able to say, I want to stand on my own because I've been hurt, I've been deceived, I've been emotionally abused. And I don't want that anymore. That's what this seems to be here. Let's start taking a look. Because it's all about healing, huh? From what I see here. So what is this 10 of Wands? Yeah. The 4 of Pentacles. So it is a secret, which is destined. And not just secretive, but holding back, because holding on to, being certain that I want to protect what I love. And that's where the weight comes in, that heaviness of having to hold on to the fort and protecting it, and not wanting anyone to come in and hurt because you've been hurt. 10 Wands is a lot, eh? See, Destiny says there will be a proposal for truth. It will be a truthful one. But you must go through this sense of I've lost everything, or because that's how this plays out here, and the disappointment as well, where you feel it. You just, if you don't feel it, then you haven't learned. And this is where the ego will be tempered. Coming in here, because this is abundance with this victory. This three of Pentacles is work that has been done. It's been painstakingly done. So you've been really digging into who you are, what you're made of, what you want, what you expect out of life. You've been carving into that. You've been working at it, and you've been honest with it. It's honest work. This is where you're going to have your mastery. You've learned, and you've come a long way with the truth of experience, and not just truth but experience, because this queen has come through so many situations where she's had to stand on her own, and in the end she is alone, and she seeks out the truth because she is alone. She has accepted that is the path that she's been set upon, is to seek out the truth and stand in it. And this is where she sacrifices. So take it as it resonates, but it seems that it's going to play out where your boundaries are set up, and you're not going to allow other people to break into that, because it's been done enough times. And your focus is on that, keeping up those boundaries, which will bring in that new relationship with yourself and with others. That is where the destiny comes in, for this victory to happen. Yes, this king has calmed down now. He's not looking as angry as he was in the last readings I've done. So she will get her king. You see, he's right here. Oh, actually, no, this is the Queen of Swords. Sorry. I always think him to be the King of Swords. But the King of Pentacles is grounded and looking to marry and wanting to marry, and has made his choice and has decided he will marry. Okay, so he did a lot there. This Ten of Wands, we got lots going on. And this is lots of people too. It's situations, just they mix and mull into each other. So that not holding back, and it is destined that you have a home, and that you have that love, and it comes to you, and the uncertainty is disturbed, not disturbed, but distorted with truth, because it becomes clear. That uncertainty becomes clear, and then that focus, the work that you have done, the truth being spoken, and very passionately too, because you bring in you build up your boundaries, you set it up in a way that it is understood that who you are and what you're made of is not weak. You're very, very strong, because your foundation is built on your integrity and your self-esteem, and you stand in that, and that is where your experience, not Eight of Wands, where your mastery is in recognizing boundaries, setting them up and not crossing them, and not allowing others to do that, to cross and break down boundaries that could be detrimental to the psyche, your social and your psychological experiences. You hold to that, and you focus. Your focus is on that expanding of yourself, knowing the self, so that you can have a relationship that is worthy in the eyes of the universe, that you have something to build on and explore into the future. And that is what you want to do. And you're seeking out and you're finding the person that you will be able to do that with. And you will get it. You will get it. So let's jump to see what this disappointment is. Going off into smooth waters, trying to. That was the plan. The plan was to get into having it easy with that commitment, but that didn't come easily. It's not going to come easily. You're disappointed in the fact that things have to change before you can get into that commitment. Truth by the moon. Again, we are on the new moon, so look to the full moon for any real change with the truth, dealing with how you feel in self-worth, because you should be overcoming that sense of I'm not worthy, I'm not enough, I don't deserve to be in a relationship. That's going to turn. You're going to start feeling better. You're going to start thinking, I am worthy. I am material for relationship. And there's that Ten of Swords. You see, you have 9 with the 1. Well, it's 13. So it's going to be a change. Again, that pain, that suffering, that anxiety, that worry about getting into a relationship or getting out of one, depending on your situation, it is going to subside. It has to. It has to come to a culmination, and you will see your self-worth. You will see that abundance coming in. You will see and feel it. Not just see it, but you will feel it, and there will be a fresh start, as we like to say, a new beginning. You're going to take on that wisdom from feeling, from experiencing all of that you have, all that weight of it's too much to bear. That on your mind, that weight on your mind about healing, your health, your circumstance and relationship, your physical and mental and psychological health. You're going to feel that shift right on the moon, where the moon is building it up. But again, this is a slow process, so you won't probably see much of a change before the end of the month into the beginning of October. But that is normal, because you are supposed to move slowly. And it is with the retrograde of Mercury that we are forced to go and look back on what we've done and things that we've experienced and where it is bringing us. See see where this Six of Wands comes in. This is Six of Wands. Following your instinct. Walking away. See, this is where someone is leaving. It's going to be very emotional. But someone is leaving. This is for healing. Yeah? Healing love. It's a healing love. Walking away emotionally. Again, this is where the third party, if there is one, comes in. If this is a partnership, again, this is ego that needs to be tempered. Changing is looking into the past. Again, this is reflecting on your relationships and making the choice of who you want to be in relationship with. And this is where you make the choice. You choose one of many if you have a selection of partners. You will choose. You feel that. Again, the moon will bring you there. It's bringing us all there to make these choices. And it is guided in the sense where your ego or your partner's ego will help make that decision. Because Spirit is bringing in these four cards here. Spirit is totally in charge here. That strength, that courage to make the choice, to stand in that sense of I don't want this, I am leaving, because that's what's going on here. Somebody is saying I'm following my instincts. I'm walking away from this. I don't want this. This is too much for me. I need to feel loved. I remember what love is. I deserve to have, and I want, and I'm patient, and I will wait, and I have that courage. This is someone standing up for that in their own. And that is where forgiveness will come in with conversation, because it's going on in the mind. This is all of what you see yourself worthy of. And when I say you, again, this refers to the cross watcher, or if you are feeling that this is where you're at, it's just, it doesn't mean it's not Taurus. It just means that you're going through the motions, you're going through the emotions, you're going through that psychological growth where you decide, I don't want, I want. It doesn't mean it's outside of you, even though it's in this line. It's just the way the reading is taking on the cards. The projection turns into the Queen of Pentacles rather than the Queen of Swords. She grows into the Queen of Pentacles, because here we have the King of Pentacles who makes his choice because of truth from the Queen that he wants to get into a relationship with, if it is vice versa. Okay, these readings can get a little complicated sometimes because the layout says one thing but the actual meaning comes in a different way. But then this is overall, and this is going deeper, so it is cause and effect is what's going on here. Because of the way that you think of yourself, others are affected, and their behavior is a reflection of how you think of them. Keep that in mind, because there is a strategy going on both sides, and the devil is here to say, you know what, integrity is what you need to pay attention to, and that is what is happening here. As I said it, this reflection here, turning into from one Queen of Swords into ending up into the Queen of Pentacles. This is the change that is going to take place over the next few weeks. It's already begun as of the moon coming into new moon. This is where that transition and that sense of strength and courage and determination and wanting to be different and create something new is coming in. This is where the strategy, and I keep saying in this deck it's about betrayal, but it's not always betrayal. And the strategy, depending on the betrayal, what is to be betrayed, whether it is to give up ego or to call out an ego, to help the person realize and recognize that what they're doing is affecting in a negative way. That is a good form of betrayal. That is a good form of strategy. And I don't feel the malice here. What I see here, like I said, it's a lot of healing, and this is coming from spirit. Let's see what this Five of Pentacles is all about. Sorry, the Five of Cups. Again, the devil is putting a hold on that sense of loss. You know, it's like it's overblown. It's too long in the loss. Your mourning is taking too long to overcome. In other words, it's as if it's being used as a tool to manipulate, and that is where that strategy is coming in. You know, that betrayal, working out of, I'm going to use this to get what I want. That is where that ego has to be healed, because the truth, again, it's all linked. When we see this secret here, protection, protecting what we, protecting that sense of, I'm not sure if I really want to get into this, because you have to let go of something in order to get something else, and putting away this mourning process, putting away what you lost, and being really done with it, and saying, you know what, I've had enough. It's time to stop the mourning. It's time to look to the light and look for happiness again. And that's what the devil is saying here. You don't need to overindulge in loss and weakness of, I have lost everything and it was taken from me and I've been placed in, it's someone else's fault, and it's, you need to stand in and say, you know what, I lost, I gave up. This is where that self-declaration of truth and the focus on it is going to curb that neediness that we tend to fall into lethargy with. You know, oh, well, it's someone else's fault, so you just keep blaming the next person to avoid that churning inside of you. You know, you need to feel that, and the more you allow that churning to take place, even though it is painful, the more you allow it, the sooner it dissipates, where you overcome. And that's what the devil is trying to, or not trying to, but putting a hold on here, that overindulgence of mourning, because you need to move on and accept that you are valid, you are valuable to someone, and he or she, because here it's a he and here it's a she, they belong together. It's destined. If you open your mind and your heart to that, then you'll be okay, because you will stand in your integrity and you will take things to that passionate level, because that's how it's supposed to go. This Queen and King of Pentacles are very, very passionate. They're very sensual and they're very earthy. They indulge, and this is why Spirit is saying, okay, you are an indulgent type, so your indulgence in mourning needs to be curbed here, because you're going overboard. You're taking it too far. You're going to end up sorry and miserable for the rest of your life, and you don't deserve that. You've worked hard enough to get to the point of having the relationship that's destined to you, which is in the sense where you've gone through so many hardships that it's almost unbelievable that you will get a decent, upstanding relationship. It's almost unbelievable, because you've had so many negatives that this positive coming in is almost impossible to believe. But it is, you must believe, because your passion is building and your determination is going to, again, feeling it with the moon. See how you feel. Check how you feel with the moon. And you will have that communication, that sense of celebration, that passionate sense of celebration. You will have it. It's coming. It's coming. And there will be equal give and take because of it. And in that, it is with the king and the queen. That equal give and take. But you must follow your instincts and you must allow. Okay, you must allow. It's going to be a little difficult, but with this moon coming, I mean here, the new moon here is the start of it. Because I'm doing the reading on the 15th. So you will feel, you'll start to feel that change. See, what's this 2 of Wands? Because we're going to end on the 9 here. See, this is where the final betrayal happens. Again, it was relating to this disappointment here originally, but because we're getting a new start, we know we're getting a new start because we're digging in for the deeper sense of it. The passion of the king, this passionate king, again, here's passionate queen, they're going to meet up eventually because it's coming from, again, this is outside of you. If you are Taurus and if you are the grass watcher, you could place yourself here. But this fiery king is focused. He's very, very focused on telling the truth and dealing with that ego, bringing it down because he has made a choice. And this is where the strategy comes in. It's to get that love. It's to get that sense of, I really want to be with this person, and here are all the reasons why. You're making it so that you follow that intuition, and Spirit is making it so because we're going into a time where illusion is still hovering, where people are trying to manipulate and win over just to see if they could get away with it and how far they can take it. It's a very indulgent time, and this is where the devil comes in and says, no, you're not going to go that far. You're not taking it any further than you've brought it now. And this is where the slowdown comes, which will bring in the satisfaction and bring back the balance and end the cycle. We're not going all the way in. But the ego will definitely be tempered. The lethargy will dissipate because you have made your choice and now you're excited about, you're going to be excited about it. Because you're going to want to celebrate. You're going to want to feel the freedom. You're going to not want to feel, you're going to feel it. And when you feel how much lighter things will become because you put down the burden. See, that's where the instinct is going to just, you're going to feel it. You're going to have that sense of this relationship is a good one. You're going to feel it. You will know, because again, that illusion is, you're going to be protected from that, because Spirit is not allowing more than what you can handle to fall on you. If anything, the tower falling down is all of that weight and burden that you've been involved in over such a long period of time that you can't see anything more than hurt and suffering, because that's all you've ever received in your relationships. And you're just starting to believe there's nothing else. There's nothing, and the illusion is the happiness. Whereas it is, no, the illusion is to live in suffering. You don't need to live in suffering. We place ourselves there without even realizing it, and then we believe that we need to stay there. And this is where the devil comes in and says, you're overindulging in your loss. You're overindulging in your pain and suffering. You're overindulging. Enough. Get out of it. And you will, because Spirit is making it so. That's where all these healing cards and ending cards come in. And this courage and this strength is all in this line. It's to bring you out of that lethargy and bring you out of that sense of you don't belong, and that sense of lack. It's completely going to turn around because you're very innovative and you're determined, and your passion is building up, and your thirst and your hunger for life and enjoying and celebrating, following your instinct. That satisfaction is coming, and you are going to feel that sense of this is really working for me. That's what you're gonna be surprised. And then let's look at this, the 9 here, this independence. What is this about? Again, it's the change. You see, with the Wheel of Fortune coming in, it brings in that change where you are no longer needing, because everything you have or everything that you need is coming to you because of the change that you're making, and that is the healing. And again, it is that healing everything emotional, very emotional. That King of Cups, carrying all of that experience, all of the weight from that 10 Wands there. He's bringing it in and bringing it in to heal, because it's a 9 of Wands. Okay, so this is where we see the 10 of Wands come, because it's here. This 10 of Wands starts off, and here is where we recognize the 9 of Wands just before the 10. See that 9 of Pentacles, that independence, bringing. This is where Spirit brings it in and says, you know what? You're going to heal. You're going to change. And everything that's coming to you is you've earned it. Because it's the Wheel of Fortune. Bringing in that courage so that you can step up. And this is relating to the Queen. If it is not the Queen, then it will be the King. But it started off with the Queen of Swords. So we can say that it is from the Queen's perspective. That the healing of the King is a work that has been in process. It's been working. She's been working on healing this King. Take it as it resonates. Because the King will recognize and become more patient, and that emotional flow is going to come to fruition because of justice. It's karmic. You're not done with the partnership. If it is that you feel like you're ending, or it will be ending, or you won't get one, or the next one will be disappointing. No. For some, you've been working on your relationship, and you are going to be successful because it is meant to be. Now, it does turn out here for others where you recognize this is not going to work because it is the same, and the ego is not being healed for some. This is where the truth will come in, and the upper hand. See this upper hand, this going off on your own it's a question of the ego. The ego will come out, show itself, the truth about it, and what it has to do in the sense of protection is to stand up and take back what was taken, stand in the truth and speak the truth. And that is the dilemma. You end with this bunch of cards here where the dilemma is in the marriage. To make that choice. You see that going from left to right, saying, well, I don't know, and maybe. And see that's where that ego is being worked on and being healed, and coming into fruition, where you've gone through it enough. You say, oh yeah, well, I know about that. I've seen that, I've heard that. I don't need it. it's just very simple. It's just going to flow. It feels, right now, it's just feeling very tight and very uncomfortable, and I'm not getting what I want, and the king is putting up a tantrum and being very immature and indecisive. Yeah, don't worry about it. You are ready to walk off, and the king knows that. So don't be surprised if your king turns around and says, change my mind, I really want to be with you. Because there will be a celebration. And there will be equal give and take. And that dilemma is going to pass within the next phase of the moon, which will be the full moon coming up. There will be a change. For some, you will say, I'm walking off, I don't want this, because the ego will be too much to bear. There will be some. I mean, not everybody is going to get the good news of, I want to be in this relationship. The good news for some will be, I want to get away from this relationship because I have my destiny calling me to move on so that I will get my just desserts from someone else, from another partnership, because this is too much. There will be some of you who will have to walk away, and then there are others who will find that, wait a minute, it's a question of perspective. Well, I changed my mind and I really want to be with you because you make me happy. That is for some. And then others, again, it's I really just want to be on my own. I need time, and we could work this out slowly. And for some, it will take an even slower, longer process, depending on how the planets fall on your birth chart. But know this, your relationship situation is changing, and for some, it will be a fruition, and for others, it will be a fruition to end, where others will be a fruition to solidify. Either way, the burden that you've been going through, Taurus, will be put down, and Spirit will help you heal with it, because it is very strong right in the middle here. This is like the heart of this reading. This is why I'm not taking cards here, because this is all Spirit and it's cut clear. This is deserving, it is destined, you will heal, you have the strength and the courage to go on, and in whatever ending, you will have a new beginning, you will have a marriage, or you will have abundance where money comes to you, or you will have that equal give and take in the next relationship, if not the relationship that you are in now. So we'll take an oracle on that. Just very rounded and grounded. I love this type of reading. Very, very healing. Going into the psyche even. It goes all through the psychological, the physiological, the emotional, and the mental. You know, where it's deep inside. It is very personal. The healing that will occur for Taurus, anywhere in your chart, you will feel it in a deep sense. Just look for the moon. The new moon is here. Over the next few days, we're going to see big change, but it may not be on the external for Taurus. It may and it may not, and depending on your situation, but you will definitely feel it on the inside, where there's a building up of passion. It's that desire, wanting to move forward, to do things, to explore, have a new beginning in anything, where it's educational, it could be romantic, it could be financial. See, that higher power is here, and we have the building blocks, and taking that time. The building blocks here show that you're doing it in the right order. Like we have these cards showing up here, where Spirit is saying that your destiny has come. You're going to get your just desserts. You have the courage to heal. It couldn't be clearer, and this is where that higher power comes in. But I want to finish the shuffle. I really do. I want to finish the shuffle because I feel that it's calling you to do that. The higher power is just to make it clear that Spirit has your back. Okay, you're not gonna be led astray. You're too grounded. You're too grounded to be taken in by illusion and delusion. No one's tricking you this next few weeks here. See, you have a leg up, and the truth to be told. All right, so we'll look at the higher power first, because that is the card that fell out, and it is a 4, so there is balance. We'll read that really quickly. The higher power, conscious contact with the higher power, the presence of the divine, seeing source energy in all things, committing to a partnership with Spirit. So going in with Spirit is going to bring you to that fulfillment of choosing the right person and being in the relationship that is destined to be a good relationship, because you've been through so many negatives and so many distorted relationships that you don't believe that there is such a thing as a good relationship. Spirit is saying, no, you're going to get one. Now the leg up here, Spirit is giving us that. So it's the 34. So we go from the 4 to the 34, and the 34 turns into a 7. So it is not easy, but because you got that leg up, see, that's why Spirit is saying you've been through so much, Taurus. And you have. And you know you have. And you have it here. 34, we would be at the 33. The 33 is the chaos and the conflict. Again, you see, you were disarrayed, being at cross purposes with another, the tension of opposites, the value of chaos before order. So you had to go through that last stage where you feeling that you still are connected, where it's just been a mess and anger, fighting, or just not satisfied with the way your relationships are going, and you didn't, you were there. Well, now Spirit is here to say, I'm helping you. You're receiving the help, delegating authority and independence. You're getting that sense of, I need to go off on my own. That independence. I have the courage. Spirit is giving us all this. This is the leg up. So we'll read the oracle on that. So you've come to a point where going it alone is no longer optimal for you. Life has a way of presenting you with the perfect people to align with, who can give you a leg up during this next phase of your journey. Help comes to you in all of the areas of your life where you need a boost. The trick is to accept that aid, so freely given. When you embrace interdependence, allowing teamwork and independence to commingle, miracles happen. Now is such a time. So you're getting the help. Just believe it. Even if you don't feel it yet, you will. You'll feel it. That passion is going to start building up. Even as over the next few days, you're going to start feeling it. You're going to start feeling that little zip and zap coming to you. Truth be told, let's look at that. Let's go into the 14 where the healing card is. So let's see the 14. And we'll read on the relationship with that one. So let's see, honesty, accepting things at face value, coming out of denial, the willingness to be transparent, clarity of communications. Truth be told, so you're going to speak. You're going to have that conversation that needs to be had. Take it as it resonates. Someone in your circle, either it is you or someone else, will come to you or you'll go to them, but you will communicate. We'll read the relationship. People tell you who they are very quickly if you're willing to listen to what they say and pay attention to how they behave. Again, that's going in with the higher power, using your intuition, following that knowing, following that sense of, well, it depends on what they say, I'll go this way. And that's exactly what's going to happen. That communication is going to determine if this relationship that you are in will heal or if you will walk away. For some, it will be one or the other. And for others, it will be mending that bridge that you were both trying to destroy. This card tells you to engage in heartfelt, open conversation. It's time to see the truth about what you share with each other. Tell the truth about who you are and what you need. No one can do that for you. Remember that your truth is always based on your personality and experience up to now. A higher truth will be found after you communicate honestly and see how doing so has helped you become more attuned to yourself. Don't hold back. Speak your truth and listen. And with that, I thank you for your subscribes, your likes, your shares. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. Until our next read, Taurus, love and light.